Rush 90.3 Voice of the People FM. And yes, on the hot topic this evening, fire me to Gandhi. Tell Tinubu the truth, not what he hears in Villa. So what he hears in Villa may be different from the truth. Why is fire me saying that? Well, you get to know when we dissect that conversation. Buhari's regime extrajudicially executed 150 peaceful pro-Biafra protesters, massacred 350 civilians in Zaria. This is according to Amnesty International. Not me. I didn't read it. It wasn't me. And then I get 1,200 naira per day as operation allowance. This is according to Defense Chief. And you get to know more about this conversation too. Rivers crisis, PDP National Working Committee in emergency meeting over 8-point resolution. As a matter of fact, you know what? They have even declared the 25 lawmaker seat vacant and say, you know what? We need to do again. INEC, please conduct election. We have washed our hands off like Pontius Pilate from these lawmakers. They no longer belong to our party. Okay. But we'll let you in on that too as we continue in the course of the conversation. We'll end insecurity next year. This is according to the federal government. The federal government has vowed to end insecurity next year. So there is indeed light at the end of the tunnel. All right, we'll move to more conversations. All right. Of course, we'll visit what's going on in Rivers State. That said, and then I have a press statement by a press conference by the National Working Committee of the PDP in reaction to the truce, by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the Wike Fubara war. We'll also get to give you details of that conversation. Rivers Daily Momodu blasts Tinubu over Wike Fubara peace deal. Waiting concern you, why you go put mouth inside. Fubara was ambushed. Clark says, Fubara was ambushed. Clark says Rivers resolutions unacceptable and unconstitutional. Say, why on a go ambush our governor like that? All right, Rivers crisis. Fubara did not sign Tinubu's peace deal. This is according to Eze and APC Chieftain. And then we'll move to other conversations. Still, as it's got to do with Nigeria. Level of poverty in Nigeria threatening country's security. An umbrella lawmaker said so. And then FCT to demolish 200 houses for presidential fleet. Do you understand? That the Federal Capital Territory is to demolish 200 houses so that they can make way for the presidential aeroplanes to park well. Okay. Pope Francis authorizes blessings for same-sex couple. Did he really authorize blessings? Did he really authorize the wedding or joining of same-sex couples? Well, we would get to look at that in the course of the conversation, Lagos. These are the hot topics that we have today on the show. My name is Precious Inyi. This show is produced by Promise Inyi. I'll be right back in a flash. Stay with us.
For the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop-off from the Lagos Airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Coldberry ice cream. Delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Coldberry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1, Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. That's where you are. So let's begin with the story that has been making the rounds since yesterday. Apologies, I didn't even bring that to you earlier, but we thought to mention that and then also clarify thoughts in that conversation. As Pope Francis formally permitted Roman Catholic priests to bless same-sex couples on Monday. So this news broke yesterday in a significant shift in the church's approach to LGBTQ plus people. Now the blessings may be carried out providing they are not part of regular church rituals or liturgies, nor at the same time as a civil union, according to a Vatican document approved by the Pope. Meaning, say you can just bless them, but know that you're blessing them as a couple or as a union. And then this has raised a lot of controversy because people are now saying, oh, whoa. So, in fact, there has been reactions. So, we know that an Islamic cleric has also reminded President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in reaction to this that same-sex marriage must be banned in Nigeria. This one that we're hearing that people are now, sanctioning, okaying it and, saying that churches should bless. Pope is now okaying it more like. But then there's been quite a number of other reactions concerning that. But the latest ruling flashes out the opening the Pope made to bless same-sex couples last October and marks a shift away from a 2021 ruling from the Vatican Doctrine Office, which barred any blessings, saying God cannot bless sin. But was, the communique, as it were, from the Pope, does it actually not just bless but join or approve the joining or the union of same-sex relationship? Well, okay, so let's go to some other reactions. As a Nigerian Catholic priest identified as Father Ugochukwu Ugwoke has defended Pope Francis after the Catholic Church head gave permission to bless in same-sex marriage. Now, yes, it was reported, following the report. Now, however, the Vatican said blessings should not be part of regular church rituals or related to civil unions or weddings, as we mentioned today. Now, while throwing his weight behind this development, Father Ugochukwu on his Twitter, you can call it X handle, wrote on the title, "Has Pope Francis changed the church or church's teaching about marriage?" This may interest you before we go into other issues concerning the country. So he did say quite a couple of things concerning that. He noted that though the topic on same-sex relationship is a sensitive one, laws in are divided, that laws in a divided or are divided in three, adding that the Pope, one Pope Francis can change or has changed something. Now, Father Ugochukwu wrote that there has been a whole lot of confusion since the publication of Vatican document, and in which the Pope Francis said the priest can bless same-sex couple. The confusion is quite anticipated and understandable because the topic of same-sex union is a very sensitive one. And then he says, but there are things, all the laws and regulations in the church may be divided into three kinds. He said, one, the laws and regulations in the church, one, can states that those that the church has no power to change, or it could be those laws that has changed and never will change. Sorry, I repeat that. It says, so the laws, in church are probably divided into three. One is those laws that the church has no power to change. That is, the church no get strength inside. Or the laws that has never changed before and then they would never change. They remain like that world without end. Amen. And then the second laws will be those she has the authority to change. That is, those laws that the church has the authority to change, but most probably will never change or never will change, as you like, to refer to it. And then three, those that she can change, has changed, and may change again according to the circumstances of a given period of time. And then I'm sure you'll be wondering, what category right now does this particular law fall into? So speaking on the first type of law, he said that there are two types of law that the Catholic Church cannot change: neutral moral laws and positive divine laws. Right? Okay. And this sounds more like a lecture though. So the cleric said, under the first type of laws, there are two kinds of laws. The Catholic Church has no authority to change the tamper with in any way that she never has changed and never will change. And they are neutral moral laws and positive divine laws. Now, a good example of neutral moral laws, according to him, he said quite a lot. So bottom line, this is that, in his opinion, the Pope hasn't done anything, practically wrong, if you follow the laws and the doctrine of the church. But then many people have been arguing, of the argument that if the church is saying that, okay, we are now blessing you, even though we're not the ones that joined you, but we bless your marriage, is it not as good as confirming the fact that two men can be married or two women can be married? Is that not going against what they initially said in 2021, that they cannot bless sin? Well, your guess is as good as mine. But let's move quickly to the Nigerian political scene, where a lot is happening. So, a former governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, has asked the All Progressives Congress (APC) national chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, to project the actual situation of the country as it is to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's what he said. So he said he should project the party's manifesto to and relate to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu the true state of affairs and the feedback from various communities, not the information he gets from the villa. Now, Fayemi, a former chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, of course you know that, made the appeal during the public launch of a book titled APC and Transition Politics, authorized by a former national vice chairman, Northwest, of the APC, Salihu Mohammed Lukman. You remember Lukman, right? Okay. So Lukman was the one who, wrote that thing that time that said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu used a lot of money to do the, remember that story? Okay. So now the event attracted prominent leaders of the APC, including Ganduje, former APC national chairman, Adams Oshimole, and Chief BC Akonde, representative of former Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and that of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, National Working Committee chair members, and many, many others. So, yes. So Fayemi said, I am happy that our chairman is here. This is the party that should not be a spectator in policy making. This party should be the one to project the manifesto of the party. This party should be the one to tell Mr. President that this is the feedback from the communities and constituencies out there, not what he is hearing in the villa where he is locked up. Okay. And then that just beggars some, and I'm thinking, does it mean that when leaders are now appointed in Nigeria, they perceive the country differently from what it actually is. Because you know why? I just remember that time that President Muhammadu Buhari had an interview, a press interview with a few journalists, where he did say, when they asked him about the NSAS guys and all that, he said those guys, those people who were protesting against my administration, that I should leave power. Oh, wow. So does this happen because this is the information that they're privy to while in power? Is it that information kind of, diminishes before it gets to the upper echelon? Or is it that the people who they work with deliberately feed them with unrealistic, information or situation to make them feel differently? Because for a former governor to say this, more like directly sending the chairman of the party on an errand to the president, that tells a lot. Where are we at in Nigeria? Okay, I just thought to point that out anyway. So that's the situation. So in fact, quoting him further, he says, all of us have occupied public offices and we know how it can be. I am happy our chairman has confirmed he has read the book. It should be compulsory for all members of the National Working Committee and executives of the state and ward level, so that we can begin the rebuilding process of our organic party, to which I believe Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje is committed. In his remarks, Ganduje said the APC needs to be well structured and repositioned to serve the interest of the masses. Wait, repositioned. So does it mean that its initial positioning, it's not aligning with the interest of the masses? Anyway, phone lines will be open shortly. I would love to take your thoughts and reactions on that conversation. But let's move very quickly to security matters. Or did I tell you that the Benue State governor has requested that the federal government send more troops to Benue State to help fight the insecurity in that state? Right. Okay. So moving forward, amid birthday congratulatory messages singing the praises of former President Muhammadu Buhari, rights organization, amid birthday congratulatory messages singing the praises of former President Muhammadu Buhari, rights organization Amnesty International has released a catalog of catastrophes wrought by the then President Muhammadu Buhari's regime that ruled Nigeria between 2015 and 2023. So, as Mr. Buhari celebrated his 81st birthday, just the day before yesterday, Sunday, the rights organization posted on their Twitter handle atrocities committed under the watch of the, unquote, they call it so-called dictator turned Democrat. Now, in a thread, a Twitter thread on Twitter on Sunday, Amnesty International listed the extrajudicial killings of 150 peaceful pro-Biafra protesters, the massacre of 350 Shiite Muslims in Zaria, and the brutal killing of NSAS protesters, amongst other gross human rights violations perpetrated by President Muhammadu Buhari, according to them, Amnesty International. You can go look it up on their Twitter handle. It is there. So, the X post was titled Gross Human Rights Violations under Buhari's administration, and listed the violations to include the mass slaughter of over 350 men, women, and children by the Nigerian military in Zaria between 12 to 14th December 2015, just upon assumption of office. 12th to 14th December 2015. Yeah. So the X post also highlighted that the Nigerian security forces carried out a chilling campaign of extrajudicial executions and violence, resulting in the death of at least 150 peaceful pro-Biafra protesters between August 2015 and August 2016. That's 1 year, right? Human rights defender also mentioned the peaceful NSAS protests seeking an end to the atrocities of SARS, a callous unit of the Nigerian police, and then at that time, they said while 56 people were killed nationwide, noting that at least 12 protesters were killed at Lekki Toll Gate and Alausa in October 2020. Now, quoting them, they said the Buhari's administration failed to bring perpetrators to justice, fueled a bloody escalation in the conflict between farmers and herders across the country. Benue State, a case study, resulting in at least 3,641 deaths in 3 years. This is exactly how Amnesty International stated it. It pointed out that over 57% of the 3,641 recorded deaths occurred in 2018 alone. The organization also recalled the chilling gross violations meted out to female survivors of Boko Haram insurgency. It went on and on and on. My mind do not let me read all of it, just so we know. So we thought to gloss through that very quickly and then move on to other conversations. As usual, phone lines will be open to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversation. But let's go straight to what the defense chief had to say, about, paucity of funds in the welfare of security chiefs. So, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has revealed that he and other soldiers are paid just 1,200 per day in operations. Speaking on the welfare of soldiers in an interview with Channel Television today, the Chief of Defense Staff said that all military personnel received the same operation allowance regardless of ranks. That is, when they go for work, when you are on official duty, that is the same operational allowance that they have. Both the Oga at the top and the Oga below, everyone is earning the same amount, 1,200. He said that over the past few years, the army had recruited an average of 15,000 personnel, but that there has not been a corresponding increase in the number of barracks. So as they are recruiting people, barracks, they increase. So where would these people stay? So that's why we have poor welfare for our gallant soldiers. Okay, let's move on to other matters of security too. Okay, all right. So now speaking about the bombing investigation, the investigation of the Kaduna bombing, he further did also reveal in that interview on the outcome. So he said the federal government has set up a committee to look into it. He stated, we know at the end of it, the truth will come out and everybody will understand that it was definitely a mistake. So everyone is waiting for the truth. And about 100 people were killed by the Nigerian army airstrikes and many others injured in Tundumbiri, Kaduna State, penultimate Sunday night when villagers were celebrating Malud. All right, so we do look forward to seeing the results of the investigation when they do come out, so that we get to know exactly what the situation is. But then still speaking about insecurity and perhaps what may be fueling it in the country, someone had said or reacted and said that as a matter of fact, if we want to address insecurity in the country, it is only fair that we first of all address hunger and poverty. So a member of the Anambra State House of Assembly representing Awka South 1 constituency, Henry Mbachu, has decried the level of poverty in Nigeria. The lawmaker, who took a tour of some markets in his constituency, said, with the level of poverty ravaging a good number of Nigerians, it is evident that the country's national security, stability, and unity will be threatened if it continues. Mbachu called for a more sustainable approach for tackling the country's increased rate of poverty. And I'm wondering if he went around his constituency in Anambra. Anambra has some of the richest people in Nigeria. And those days, with the statistics that was available then, you hardly, have any compound, I dare say, without a billionaire in Anambra State. So if that is the case, and you now see this level of poverty and you cry, how about other states that don't have rich people like that? Then what would their level of poverty be? That means the situation is really, really dicey. All right? Well, he did say that, the simple thing, where there is poverty, hunger, insecurity naturally thrives. All right, so let's move on to father-son really. Oh, whoa, okay. I was going to tell you that I wanted to finish this security issue, as the federal government says it understands the seriousness of the security challenges facing the country and promises to end insecurity before the end of 2024. So the Minister of Defense, the Minister for State for Defense, Mr. Bello Matawali, said this in an interview with BBC Hausa. Matawale added that the government was adopting a proactive approach to combat bandits before they struck, particularly in the troubled north. He said, God's willing, from now to the November of 2024, that is next year, all security challenges we will overcome. That's what he said. You do remember Governor Matawale, right? Okay, he's the one that him and his successor are having issues with returning some cars that they say is official car. He said, I'm not returning, and I just thought to let you in on that. But let's move straight to Rivers State now, where the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party is currently, or not currently, they have had a meeting, an emergency meeting, where they want to address the Fubara and the former Governor Nyesom Wike's issue. But before I get to that conversation, you do recall that there was an 8-point agenda settlement, between father and son relationship, Sim and his father. So a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Idele Momodu, has said President Bola Tinubu cannot be the headmaster of the state and federal government. Only you won't be headmaster for state. Only you won't be headmaster for federal at the same time. Momodu said Tinubu's intervention in the crisis between Governors Sim, Fubara, and Rivers State and the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, FCT Nyesom Wike, was legally absurd. Many say it also makes sense. So Daily Post reports that Fubara and Wike have been at loggerheads over the control of Rivers State political structure and finances. All media houses have also reported that in the past. And then we also did, I'm sure you would have been overwhelmed with the news this morning about the 8-point agenda settlement of Sim Fubara and his predecessor and how that happened. Even though there are statements that Sim Fubara never actually did sign that pact, that it was all a hoax, or a setup, as it were. But we cannot really ascertain that because we're yet to hear from any member of the team right now. I tried to contact the Sims, House of Assembly Speaker for the faction of Sim Fubara, Edison Ehie. They're declining to speak at the meantime, and I'm hoping that I probably can get someone in Port Harcourt to just tell us what the feel, what the people, what the general reaction and mood is in Port Harcourt right now concerning that judgment, concerning that settlement, as it were. But speaking about that settlement, the chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Chief Chukwuemeka Eze, has claimed that the Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara did not sign the peace agreement brokered by President Bola Tinubu. In fact, they said there was, concerning that. Now, however, in a statement on, he said that the Governor Fubara didn't sign the agreement as he signed the unwise pact with Black Biro instead of Red Biro as expected of him as a governor. As we hear, say, as governor will sign something, as a sitting governor, he's supposed to sign with a red pen. But rather, we saw the signature of an FCT Minister Nyesom Wike in red. So we're just wondering what's going on here. So quoting him again, he did say that, the governor did not sign that pact, and the unwise pact with Black Biro instead of Red Biro as expected of him as a governor. As such, signing has no bearing as the pact is unimplementable. Now, the document has some question marks as the whole handwriting are all same, which is not possible, indicating that the document was prepared before the commencement and conclusion of the meeting. You'll recall that yesterday we did mention to you that the President Bola Tinubu had called for an emergency meeting between former Governor Peter Odili and Sim Fubara and other stakeholders, which we assumed would be former Governor Nyesom Wike and his, team to Aso Rock for a peace pact, right? And the fallout of that peace pact was that, there were some settlements, and part of the settlement is that, okay, Sim Fubara, you do this for us, and on our own part, we'll do this for you. But people are not saying that, that thing that they said Sim should do and this should do, it looks like a setup, because if you look at it very well and not spy it well again, you now understand that it looks like, it's more like a setup on Sim. That's what some people are saying. But many would also say that perhaps Sim just decided to give up and think otherwise. We are yet to hear from his team, so we can't really tell for sure what it is. So some of the things outlined in that 8 agenda pact is: 1, all matters instituted in the court by the governor of Rivers State, Sir Fubara, and the team is in respect to the political crisis in Rivers State shall be withdrawn immediately. But we have not heard from any of the courts that Sim's team have now withdrawn such cases. We haven't heard. all impeachment proceedings initiated against the governor too, they go stop him and drop it immediately. Now, the leadership of the Rivers State House of Assembly, as led by the Right Honorable Martin Amehula, shall be recognized. So not the Ehie Edison, but the Amehula team will be recognized. Now, the remunerations and the benefits of all members of the Rivers State House of Assembly and their staff must be reinstated. You don't say they say SIM had seized their, refused to remunerate or pay them and fund their proceedings and all that, at least for the month of November. So they're saying that part of the practice that all that payment must be made. And the Rivers State House of Assembly shall choose where they want to sit, meaning say the governor would no longer, dictate or suggest where they would sit. That the governor of Rivers State, Sir Sim Fubara, shall represent the state budget, which, by the way, he had presented to, the number 5 people, the 5-member House of Assembly, and had signed. That now he will not represent it again. Okay. That the names of all commissioners in the state executive council who resigned their appointments because of the political crisis in the state should be submitted again to the House of Assembly for approval. That is, people who don't resign voluntarily before, you must resubmit their names again for them to be reappointed again by the House of Assembly. That's part of it. And that there should not be a caretaker committee for the local government in River State. So there's a lot. I don't want to say this as an analyst. I would rather speak from the perspective of a presenter of the show. So there were gossips flying around that some of the reasons why the fallout happened was because SIM wanted to appoint caretaker committee chairman for the local government, but the governor said, "Mba, you will not do that. I think that rather should be an election." And he said, perhaps it's fair, or the former governor rather, Nyesom Wike, he said, this is my way of wanting to empower, as many people as possible within 3 months tenure and all of that. So now that this has been cancelled, it now looks like, okay, could that be really some of the issues that they had, or some of, the things that caused the wahala initially? Well, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but that's actually what the document states. We'll be, watching and to see what the reactions would be. But I have someone who will be joining me very shortly. I have a journalist in Port Harcourt that I want to call to, tell us exactly what the situation is like. But let's just run through other conversation that surrounds this case, because we're not yet done with it, right? And moving on with the SIM and Fubara situation. Okay, I'm trying to get exactly where I stopped with that. So, Edwin Clark, convener of the Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, has faulted the meeting convened by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the feud between Nyesom Wike and Siminalayi Fubara. Over the past few weeks, Fubara, governor of Rivers State, and Wike, minister of Federal Capital Territory, FCT, have been at loggerheads over control of the political structure of the state. You cannot destroy the structure I built. The structure has been destroyed, kind of thing. So yesterday, Monday, they said they had agreed to end the feud during a meeting with Tinubu at the presidential villa. But in the 8-point resolution signed by Fubara, and I read out to you now, Wike and other, river stakeholders, it was agreed that all impeachment proceedings, I just did mention all that to you. But Edwin Clark is saying that is a no-no. In fact, quoting him now, he says that it is obvious that Governor Siminalayi was ambushed and intimidated into submission. That's what Clark is saying. Now, he said President Tinubu should know that with all the powers he possesses, he cannot override the institution. From all that transpired at the meeting, the laws of the land have not been obeyed. President Tinubu simply sat over a meeting where the constitution, which is the fulcrum of his office as president, and which he swore to uphold and abide by, was truncated and desecrated. And then he said a lot again. He said, okay, so Clark said the resolution showed that Tinubu is trying to show gratitude to Wike for winning the presidential election in Rivers State for All Progressive Congress. It's not because, he's doing the right thing as a president, but because he just wants to show this man that you're grateful. So because you want to show him you're grateful, you're towing this part that you're towing, towards the resolution of the crisis in River State. I don't know what your takes would be, but your guess is as good as mine. All right, phone lines will be open shortly. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 9039. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversation. What do you make of it? I'll be joined by a journalist in River State whom I'll make known very shortly, and who would help us jumping on this conversation for us to get a feel of exactly what is happening in River State after the break. Stay with us, Lakers.
For the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop-off from the Lagos airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less. The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream. Delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festa Town, 28 Adenira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and cold berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
He want use person do money, kill am.
Sit tire for here, put am for him neck, burn am. Yes, they no go find better work do. Na yahoo yahoo dem go dey do. Burn am. Stop!
Dat person wey you wan born, if it dey innocent, no go carry person blood put for your head. Jungle justice no good at all. Stop am.
You wey light the fire, you no get heart. Say no to jungle justice.
You uncle wey follow for the crowd dey look wey dem dey born person, you no stop dem. E dey do you like film abi? Your hand sef no clean o. You fit enter gbege. Stop the lynching. Stop jungle justice.
Under the criminal law for Lagos State, person wey start jungle justice, those wey support am and those wey just sit down look, all of them fit rot for jail. My name na Benjamin Hundeyin, Lagos State Police talk person. Stop jungle justice.
This message now from Lagos State Police Command
and VOP 90.3 FM.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
Yes, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. So, joining me over the phone is Honorable Salah Wisdom JP. He is a one-time essay to the Commissioner for Chieftaincy and Community Affairs in Rivers State. Honorable, you're welcome. Good evening. Can you hear me very well? Hello? Oh my goodness, I'm not sure we can hear you very clearly. Can you hear me very well? All right, unfortunately, I think we'll try to reconnect with him.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Fantastic. Good evening. I can hear you very well. You're welcome. Honorable Wisdom.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So, without wasting your time, you're live on air, radio, on Voice of the People FM, Lagos State, Nigeria. I know you're in River State, Port Harcourt right now. Apologies for dragging you to Lagos State so quickly.
Okay.
All right. So, well done. Could you help us throw a bit more light on what is happening in River State right now? So, we saw the peace pact between the former governor, Nyesom Wike, and his successor, Fubara. And then there's also this accusation that, no, he's not the one that signed it. He was ambushed to do that and all that. But we're yet to hear anything, clearly from the governor's team. So could you help us with a perspective to what's going on?
Okay, well, thank you very much, and good to have you all the way from Port Harcourt, River State.
Thank you.
Like you earlier mentioned, I am Honorable Wisdom Salu. Yeah, I can, as of today, Port Harcourt is peaceful. We are celebrating, we are jubilating here.
Okay.
Our political mentor, our father, our leader, the president in Ezebuon Wike, have made it fair here, as you can see. Yesterday there was a peace talk between the governor and the leaders of the state, and by the intervention of the presidency, everything was made possible. We are free here, and then we have agreed, and peace, normalcy have returned to the state as I speak to you.
Okay. If normalcy, you said normalcy has returned to the state, but we did hear reports.
Have returned.
Yeah, but we did hear reports of pockets of protests here and there in River State. Are people asking and requesting for the governor not to sign that pact and not to act upon that pact? Is that correct? If indeed normalcy has returned, why would people protest in that direction? Any idea of what could be going on?
Yeah, in every situation, people, there's criticism. That is normal in politics. And then, when you say people, it's not the reverse people. It could be one or two persons talking from the angle you don't know, and then you generalize this as the reverse people. But as I say my word, as I speak to you, we are fully here celebrating, jubilating. We have gotten a full normalcy in the state.
So there wasn't normalcy before.
I don't know if you heard the governor's speech this evening, that he must do, and he has to do that. So as I speak to you, I think normalcy have returned.
Okay, all right. Okay, so speaking about normalcy now, has the governor started or taking steps has the governor now taking steps to implementing the 8-point agreement as stated in that truce? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So he's withdrawn all the cases in court, and he's gone ahead to recognize a Amehule faction as the legitimate speaker.
Martin Samuel remains the speaker of the River State House of Assembly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's done other things. Has he also paid them their November wages, which is also in contention? Or part of the agreement.
Hello.
Has he also gone ahead to pay them their November allowances and wages, which was part of the, agreement?
Well, all of that will be put in place. All of that will be taken care of.
Okay. All right. Okay, but there's been an argument that, the governor would have signed that pact with a red pen as a sitting governor and as a present governor. Does that not matter, really, in your opinion?
The sign what?
That he would have signed that agreement that he did sign in Aso Villa with a red pen to signify that he's a sitting governor. Does that not matter, in the scheme of things right now?
Yeah, it doesn't. Like you as I mentioned earlier, there was need for him to sign. So as can you hear me?
Very well, clearly, very well.
Yeah, because he is a leader, and then there is this say that a leader must live by example.
Oh my goodness, network won't let me hear you properly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Go ahead, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, earlier. I said there was a need for him to sign. Like you said, people said he wouldn't have signed, the sitting governor, not so.
Yes, please.
So I said you must live by example.
Okay.
We are talking about peace. We say we are working together. We must let this go. We must go. We are going this direction. So there was every need for him to sign. All
right, thank you. So the bottom line now is that we're back to agreement is agreement, and every agreement must be obeyed, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for obliging me the very short call, and on a very short notice too. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
And I do hope that you oblige me when I call you, subsequently.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Wishing you all the best. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. All right. So joining me over the phone is also a journalist in River State, Cosby. Cosby is a journalist from River State of Wish FM, Port Harcourt. Let's get to take a listen to Cosby and feel the pulse of the people. Hello, Cosby. Good evening. Thank you for joining me.
Good evening, Precious. Interesting times.
What is happening in River State? I almost called you winning. What is happening in River State?
The thing is, as a journalist, interesting times ahead of us.
Okay.
As a student of history, what is playing out is something that never happened before in the history of democracy in Nigeria.
What would that be? What would that be? Can you run us through that?
Okay. I'm going to tell you.
Just a refresher course for a fellow journalist. Thank you.
Okay, no, never in the history of democracy in Nigeria did we, have a request for sitting House of Assembly members who had defected voluntarily without any forcible, without duress, acting under duress, being asked to be reinstated as legally seating members of the state assembly. It has never happened in the past in Nigeria before. It's the first time it's happening. River Sun, a lot of people are hailing the peace pact. Some people are hailing, and I don't know if there are a lot, but I know that some people are hailing. But some others have gone on to protest what's happened at Aso Villa on Monday night. A lot of youths in River State are saying, no, this can't be. First is as an order and the way things should run. That signature, purported signature by the governor, should have come or should have been written, should have been signed with a red pen. All right.
Exactly what you heard. You heard the question I asked the the politician that Salo that I interviewed. But it doesn't seem to matter to them right now because they said that's
a haze, a cloud of confusion. All right, the governor hasn't spoken. People who are from the governor's camp are not firm with the information of telling Nigerians if the governor truly signed or the governor did not. So it is one confusion that most journalists here are trying to unravel. It's been difficult, but moving forward, Precious, is one thing to ask a court of competent jurisdiction to turn something that's never been done on its head. First thing, if you look at the points, listed for peace, for that peace accord, you will see a part where the constitutes, the people who constituted the committee that organized that pick part, told the governor to withdraw cases in court.
Absolutely, all the
against
cases
the
immediately.
Amehule led party. That's an order to an elected government official, a governor.
Okay, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask if he was elected now or selected by Wiki. And I mean, I'm sorry.
So that's an order by an elected governor. Then the camp
to an elected governor.
Yes.
Go ahead. Please.
That's a governor. That's an order to an elected governor. Then, secondly, the Edison Ahier's camp, who claimed legitimacy to, the State House of Assembly, had said, and quoted section 109 subsection 1G, saying that for you to vacate your seat, you will leave your party voluntarily without, of course, they said problems in the PDP had cost them. And the question was, what was the problem in the PDP?
Well, they said that they will show the evidence in due time. That's what they said then.
Okay, so now moving forward, until that evidence is shown, it is assumed that they left without any quarrel, and which runs tantamount, which runs in direct collusion with what the laws and the sessions and the Electoral Act says. But push that aside, Precious. Now, when I saw the signatories to that peace pact, I saw the governor and the deputy governor from the governor's part. But I saw and the PDP state chairman. All right. And people were asking, what was the APC CTC chairman signature doing on that paper? What was
the meeting was for stakeholders. Now, is he not a stakeholder?
Was it the only stakeholder that went there?
Because we did hear that it was a meeting with the governor, Odili, and other stakeholders. So Odili was a stakeholder. Is still a stakeholder? We did not see Odili's signature, but push that aside. Okay. National Security Advisor's signature, Nuhu Ribadu, was there. It's not a war. It's not a war path. We're not in a hostage situation. It's a political quagmire. It's a political issue. What was Nuhu Ribadu's signature doing on that paper? So it has raised a lot of questions. Rivers people are telling the governor, if truly you had signed that peace pact, you did not consult us. Our mandate, we gave you the mandate. You don't act on your own volition. You don't act on yourself. People elected you. So you should have consulted the people before signing a peace pact. And so stakeholder after stakeholder, the ones I've interviewed are saying, maybe the governor signed under duress. Maybe he signed so that he can live with his life intact. We do not know what happened. The governor have not spoken to anybody. But he just did speak, and I was even about to play his vox pop. He did speak in, I don't want to mention the name of the university owned by former Governor Peter Odili, where he went for the convocation. He did say that there is no amount. In fact, let me quickly play that vox pop so you hear him say that himself.
There is no amount that is too big to pay for peace.
So I don't know if you heard that. He did say that there is no amount, so there's no price too big to pay for peace. Yes, so is that not confirming that indeed I have succumbed for the sake of peace?
Let's begin to infuse realities of life. Let's begin to play out real life situation. You can wake up in the morning and say, hey, whatever happens, if I see the coordinator, the leaders of Boko Haram, I will kill them. And then you're pushed into the Sambisa forest. You will take to your heels. Let me tell you what happened. If really that everything that played out was fair, who went with Fubara as his backup, as his team? Why wasn't Edison Ehia's signature on that paper? So now let me speak as a journalist. If you look at what's happening, the Rivers people seem to be, every morning when you wake up and running my show, I see the flurry of calls that are coming, and what simply they tell you is that it seemed as though a haze, a cloud of slavery is lifted off the shoulders and off the heads of every Rivers man.
But as at today now, what is the atmosphere? And that's actually the feel I want to get. What's the atmosphere in Rivers State right now?
I didn't get that.
As at today, following the agreement and the truce, what is the atmosphere right now? Because the politician is saying that people are happy and excited because peace has returned and the atmosphere is calm. And on the other hand, we hear of pockets of protest. So what is going on right now in River State?
I wonder, I don't know who told you that what I see is more like conspiracy of silence. Nobody, the major people who are to talk, to speak
I
to
tried
us.
to speak to Edison Ehie myself. He declined, in interviews.
And of course, they are not talking. So, but the transducer, those who, the cronies, are making different conjectures. It could be that this happened. So that's what we've been working with a long time. Since morning. I hope to speak to one of the major stakeholders, the gladiators, the CTC chairman of APC in River State, Tony Okucha. I hope to speak to him in the morning. He's supposed to be on my show. I will ask very telling questions, and that will help me demystify what is, whatever is going on in the political arena in River State. But what I tell you that the people are left more confused than we were before Tinubu called.
Okay, Cosby, there's a lot to this conversation. That at some point this whole thing was almost tilting towards an ethnic, war, as it were, between the riverine and upland. You're an Ikwere man, so I call him a brother. So if anything had happened and the impeachment of Sim had succeeded, that is to say that either Amewule or the deputy governor, who are all Ikweres, by the way, would have taken over government. How do you think they just would have reacted to that?
And that conspiracy hasn't left. That conspiracy is still very, very up there. Now, it would snowball into something that would be unimaginable. Listen, it will. I don't even want to imagine it. All right, because
people would have thought that the Ikweres like you would also drum support for. After all, let our brothers keep ruling. Is that the situation?
Exactly, but that's not the situation. The people, some Ikwereans who know, are saying you can't be plotting these evil against some ethnic groups in River State and leave some of us to be happy. No, we're not. All right, we suffered, we suffered in the hands of the Ijaws when we were together, Bayelsa State and River State. Yes. We were together during that era. You don't want a repeat of that. We don't want it to seem like an ethnic group is dominating in River State and then making the others. It's a very dangerous trend. It's a very dangerous path to walk on. And so that's what every well-meaning Rivers indigene is working against, and we don't want that to happen.
Okay, so how about this? I don't want to say this gossip, more like of former Governor Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, trying to also have a bargain with Tonye Cole, who is also an Ijeoman, by the way, to use the Supreme Court. That's a gossip. That's why I call it gossip. Yeah. To use the Supreme Court to topple, if perhaps the Supreme Court topples the election of Sim Fubara. So do you think? Did you see the job people of being receptive of Tonye Cole against Sim Fubara?
What I'm seeing now. Politics is a selfish game. All right, is very selfish. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. If it is more like the hatred I have for you, if you dance it with favors to me, I can dance to any tune you tell me. But the thing is, what the animosity I've seen expressed from the Tonye Cole side of things, of APC, I don't think that is a workable solution.
Because there's an Amechi to deal with that too. There's an ambition to do with it. I know your brothers. You guys never forgive. You know, right?
So the workability of that is almost impossible. Is almost unfathomable. It's not something you can conceive. It's unconscionable.
So could that be why this truce had to happen, just to ensure that because that couldn't work?
Some say in the media, the political space, that the former governor thought that he was losing the plot.
Oh.
You know, so he had to rally around quickly to organize this pact and then see how he can show off. Yes. And so I totally believe that the Toyoko conjecture is not a possibility.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. But generally, again, what's the street like? How are people taking this up? All right, I would like to hear from you further if I can reconnect with you, Cosby. You've been very helpful. Lagos phone lines are now officially open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions. Did you hear me, Cosby? The last question I asked. I wanted to get, the general feel of the people in the street, all those your brothers around, What is everyone saying? There'll be some chuchu around. What's going on?
First of all, we're quite hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can now. Go ahead. I can. Oh my goodness, I apologize. I think I'm losing you again. All right. All right, so let's just... Can you hear me now? Cosby, are you there?
Hello?
Cosby, are you there? Can you hear me? All right, unfortunately, we may not be able to continue with this, but I appreciate you a whole lot, Cosby. Cosby is a journalist and the breakfast show host for Wish FM Port Harcourt. He's been quite helpful there. All right, Lagos phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversation ahead of us right now. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. All right, hello, good evening. Are you there? Oh dear, I lost that. 0700 903 903 903. Let me quickly run to my WhatsApp messages because I have loads and loads of messages. Let's see if we could begin to do justice to them one at a time. Here, this says, okay, assign. Okay, all right, going. This says, good evening, Precious. Anambra lawmaker crying for the level of poverty and insecurity in the state, but he did not see anything wrong for receiving SUV worth 160 million naira. If he decided to give 100 million naira to his constituents, surely it will lift at least few people out of poverty. But alas, he did not think towards that direction, right? Okay, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much. Sir?
Please, the area I want to talk, we have many problems in this country. The government promised that they are going to end the insecurity next year.
Yes, by next year, November, it's anything of the past.
This December, we are still expecting refinery, which they promised that at least one refinery will be functioning very well this December. These people are shameless people, shameless old people that they don't have children. This promise they made now is just when they drink and drunk, they talk whatever they like. We are expecting our refinery. Where is it? And look at what we are suffering as a result of petrol. This is all I want to see. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Your work. God will.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, Lagos phone lines are still open. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903. Now, hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Sister Precious.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah, my name is Peter Usifo. I'm calling from Abangode, Ikotu.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Many peace-loving Nigerians will now see how some centrifugal forces in Rivers want to bring political instability in Rivers State, in particular, and Nigeria in general.
Oh, wow.
So it's unfortunate that most of our elders, especially Robert Clark and Edwin Clark, are saying that there was no true truth. That was that means to say that Fubara never signed the truce, and that everything should go back to the status quo, which is very wrong. Instead of them to bring peace, to make sure that things work well in Port Harcourt, in River State, they are going against that, which is very wrong. And not only them, to those people who have been anti-Wike because of the party play during the 2023 election, the PDP. These are just the reasons why they don't want him and why they want Fubara to still continue playing to the gallery, which I believe will bring him down in the long run if care is not taken. That is that. Then on same-sex marriage or blessing, according to the Pope, to me, as a human being, I feel that the Pope as a human being is talking from the two sides of his mouth. But as the Pope, you know, in Catholic Church, they say the Pope is infallible. That is infallibility of the Pope. So whatever he says is right. But for him to say bless same-sex marriage and at the same time in 2021 was against it is confusing to especially many Catholics. So that is my own opinion for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Okay. Because I'm not a Catholic, I cannot explain exactly, but with all the things that were outlined, not any particular blessed sacrament conducted, during that blessings. I think that it's probably just blessing them as human beings and not recognizing their union. I don't know, but perhaps I have to look for someone who is a clergy and within the Catholic Church to put a perspective to that. But I appreciate you. Thank you. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, Precious.
Yes, you're welcome, sir.
Okay, Moses from Lasamanta.
You're welcome, Moses. Go ahead.
Yes, one of your callers, the last caller, was condemning the statement of Edward, and that is very, very unfortunate. Is this piece of the graveyard we are looking for in River State? He never cited that the other members that they come to APC, are they coming back to PDP? Not only that, the matter is already in the court has already made the rest member of the House has declared they are still veterans according to the Constitution. Not only that, asking the governor that she not step out with the local government, this in fact, those 8-point agreement was failure to favor UK. UK is already losing the battle. We're just trying to find some ground where you can start it. But Fubara, he should be very, very careful. He should be very, very careful. Because I already signed his political death warrant.
Thank you. Death warrant. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, let's run through some messages. Lagos phone lines are still open for your thoughts and reactions. 0700 903 903 903 and 0700 903 9039. Emmanuel, I see your message. Thank you. Yusuf from Ijeoma says, good evening, Precious. Concerning Amnesty International revelation against Buhari on extrajudicial killings, it is a fact. I can remember the dead bodies discovered in the forest in Abia State then. Now, these dead bodies were said to be IPOB members, manhandled by the security forces. Their hands and legs were tied. Also, I can remember when the soldiers that leave bullets on the IPOB members at Ungwa High School in Abia State. Okay. So, when the soldiers shot live bullets, rather, on IPOB members in Ungwa High School, say many were killed. It was terrible. That's what Yusuf said. Okay, I see you. And then he says, so sad. He says, good evening, Precious. My name is Gabriel. I am writing from Ikorodu. It is sad that Nigeria has never shown to be a serious country. International organizations had investigated the administration of former President Buhari and made known all the atrocities committed by him. With all that in view, it is clear that he will go scot-free. No legal action will take whatsoever against him. And wow, this is not the way to run a country. So sad. That's what you say. Going back to my phone lines. Hello, good evening. All right. Hello, good evening to you. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Can you help me turn off your listening device? Welcome. What's your name and where are you calling?
Oh, sorry about that. You can hear me now?
I can. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Ebuka. I'm calling from Isolo.
Ebuka, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, Nigeria, my lovely country, is like a man who beats his wife every day, and the neighbors are watching and listening. But he comes to church and he preach about how to treat your wife very well. He comes to preach to church how to be a loving husband. How do our leaders engage in these activities that we cannot be proud of? And they go to the international cycle, they go to the international world, and they want the world to respect them. Even me as a person, if I do some things and people see me, I can't even stand and come out and make some statements. I don't know. Look at the dirty things that are going on between those we look up to. Okay, look at Yeson Wike and the other guy, Fubara. Is this how we are going to go? Is this how we expect to develop? Okay, we are clamoring for foreign investors. Imagine an investor coming to your country and the following things are not in place. No rule of law. How do you convince them that their investment is even secured in your country? Outside that, no political stability. How do you convince them tomorrow now? If it's not IPOB, it's Boko Haram, it's bandits, it's this and that. Apart from that, how do you convince them there will not be anything like uprising, civil unrest? Before you know it, these community boys will come and give us our rights. Is this how you want to attract foreign investors? And instead of them fixing the root cause of this problem, they keep on giving excuses upon excuses. Last time it was 16 years of PDP. They did this. Now, I wonder who they will blame now. Okay, that is aside. Let's talk about the priest, the Pope, our able Pope that made the statements. Now, my own is, it lies in the hands of every Christian to use their head. The Pope is also a human being, and he is also entitled to his opinion. And I want to beg my Catholic brothers and sisters, don't get too emotional about this. Don't defend too much about this. Some people are already fighting themselves on social media, insulting each other. We should calm down and use our number 6 and reason about this. Try to filter out what the Pope actually was trying to say. Use our common sense and digest it. It's not everything that they tell you that you will just follow. It's just like the same Bible that we are reading. I'm rounding up. The same Bible we are reading told us that a snake is dangerous. The same Bible also told you that a snake is as wise as what? Serpents. Be as wise as serpents. The same Bible told you that you crush the head of serpents. Use your head, Nigerians. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Buka. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, going back to my messages now. Our phone lines are still open. 0700 903 903 903. 110%. I see you. This says, good evening, Auntie Precious. Good job to you, ma. Compliment of the season, ma. Don't worry. When the time reaches, Vina from Ayabo. I see you. 110%. I see you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Call. Good evening, Precious. Your first guest has shown that he's truly a diehard Wiki follower and did he say bootlicker? Stop it. He says, no wonder he said that they are happy and jubilated. I'm also surprised that Fubara could agree to all those terms and conditions and the truth. He has shown that he's not man enough, and such a lily-livered fellow is not suitable to be a councillor, talk less of a governor of an oil-rich river state. Sahid Barawa sent that message. Sahid. All right, and this is good evening, Miss Precious. Surprised people are still believing these government promises. This government will not do anything until they are not more in power. They are no more in power. Okay, the River State issue is like a movie. Victor from Afoluku sent in that message. And then Emperor says, I'm happy you're back healthier, Precious. You can see the bad precedents Tinubu there has been setting things first. Okay. All right. I said big ups to the journalists from Port Harcourt, all those politicians that don't mean well for the people of this country, including, God will visit all of them, Emperor. Okay. Oh, all right. I rest my case, Abby. All right. Let me go back to my phone lines. Good evening to you.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening, sir. Welcome, sir.
My
My name is Kukas from Mojo.
Kukas, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I just, I'm looking at the peace accord that was struck at the Aso Rock. To me, I want to look at it from the point that it's a bait, a ploy, just to lure Fubara into, a water that he won't be able to come out of it. If truly they are serious about finding a final peace to the Bruha in Port Harcourt or in Rivers, let them go back to the court so that they can, go through the court process and come out with a consent judgment. So that whatsoever they agree will be, incidental in the court. So that if there's going to be any fallback, Fubara will have, because if he should accept the peace accord in Abuja, I'm telling you, it's a goner. So it is best if at
but
all
this,
they are going
there's
to
a subtle confirmation from him that looks like, nothing is too big for peace. No amount is too big to pay.
I just want to believe that Nigeria should look into strengthening the institution rather than personality.
All right. Thank
you. So let them go back to the court and, so that whatsoever that is done there, every party will have an assurance. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right. Let me run through some messages on YouTube now. Michael Achibong says, how could anybody expect Tinubu to give a kind of judgment in the matter as this when he is when perhaps the same issue that's happening in River State happened in Lagos State? I just pray for Fubara. I just pray Fubara declines. That's what he's saying. And then this here says, Anthony King, I see you. Thank you. Okay. Justina Aimi says, so his signature was fudged. Nigeria, we hail thee. No, that's not the case. We're still yet to hear, clearly what transpired. Ken Ezeki says, Fubara did well to sign the deal just for peace. He has 4 years to strategize and get rid of Wiki. Can he? And then Anthony King says, agreement is agreement. Agreement. And they said, what? Okay. And Chuka Ekwe says, good evening, beautiful precious. The Pope is not God, and he doesn't speak for God. He is but a man, and as a man, he would act like one. If he likes, let him start wedding animals. That is not our business. Oh yeah. All right. Man of Prestige says, precious, why are you scared of reading people's full context of note? That is because they use words and languages that I cannot read on radio, because those words are not friendly. You cannot call someone an animal, a fool, an idiot, and you want me to read it on air? I would not read it. Do you understand? Okay. It's not because I'm scared. I cannot be scared. All right. Going back to my phone lines now. Hello, good evening to you. Hello, are you there? Good evening, welcome. You're in a very, very noisy place. You may have to call us back, please. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Precious. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is John Legend calling from Mushi.
John Legend, you have to mind your language. And if you do not mind your language, I'll cut you off. It's not like I'm sure you understand why you do this, because you're in the habit of using very insightful words. And that's why I'm saying this. Just so we don't quarrel before we start our relationship.
We are not quarreling. If you want to start quarreling, start from Nigeria that a bag of rice is getting to 70,000.
It is 70,000 in some places. It's not getting to. So go ahead. See, this one you're correct now. So just
I am not the one that made a liter of fuel almost 600 and something naira. I am not John. I am not
John
the
Legend.
One.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't waste my time. Don't waste it. Yeah. Just go ahead.
What I am trying to say is that what Fubara is, as long as Tinubu have called Fubara a meeting, Port Harcourt is gone, River State is gone. That is the end of it. I am telling you nothing but the truth. That is how it's going to end. This is exactly what happens to Abia State. When T.A. Oji and Oji Sokala was fighting, there was no development in Abia State. And when Ibazo, Zibazo and George Godfather the Abia State, nothing was working there. So that you will see, out of 8 points, out of 8, this thing they are bringing, 6 we go for Wike, 2 we come to Fubara, and Fubara will never work. We just mark it from today. You will not see the last development you see in Rivers State is what you just see after this problem, because I knew that is there any place APC is governing that is okay? Imo State now. Is there any development in Imo State?
Why are you in Lagos? Is Lagos not okay for you? Why are you in Lagos? Is Lagos not an APC state? Why are you in Lagos?
Is Lagos okay? Very okay.
Then why are you not in your state?
I say, is Lagos very okay?
And I'm just asking now. Someone will want to ask. Why? Okay, why don't you go to a state where? Why don't you go to a state? Why are you not in a state where PDP? Why are you not in Port Harcourt? Why are you not in Port Harcourt before now?
It's governing. It's not moving well.
PDP is ruling. Okay, all right. Today we did not quarrel fully. It's half. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. You're welcome. Jonathan from London, right? Welcome.
Yeah.
How are you today?
So, thank you. Very well.
Go ahead.
The winter is around the corner. It's even present, sir.
You guys are shrinking. I'm sorry, you're not shrinking. I mean, your hands are freezing. Go ahead.
Just to double up.
Sorry about that. Go ahead, please.
So, let me quickly contribute. So let me regarding Rivers State situation. What I foresee is that there is a precedence for anarchy, because all the agreement doesn't back by law. So I don't know when Mr. President now assumed the position of judiciary and the judge said that this is the position of the Rivers people. Rivers people voted. They didn't vote for this type of resolution. So it's up to Rivers State people. So everybody is in the know of what is happening. So that's my contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. I appreciate you. All right, I run through some messages. Surplus Link says, okay. All right. And Jeff says, rule of law has been trampled upon, and we expect foreign investors to come in. And then Benjamin says, what type of agreement? Make it transparent to River State, to the people of River State, you mean? And had I known, APC is, okay, he said that. And Maxwell says, to me, that's not peace accord, rather intimidation accord. Edidi Ngotong says, the governor is a man of peace. Please let him be, so that River State can move forward. That's what he says. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Welcome.
Hello, Precious. Good evening. Nice to have you on the program again.
Nice
my name is Chooks. Yeah, I'm calling from UK.
Chooks, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Okay, yes. I'm looking at the political situation in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been thinking, why are we going around in these circles? I mean, we have lots of educated people. I've been listening to what some of the analysts have been saying, and the only conclusion I could come to is this: you know, if someone has been in prison for, let's say, 40 years or 50 years, you don't expect that when the person comes out from prison, that the person will be able to get back into societal life straight away. It's very difficult. So you have to actually carry the person back for rehabilitation and gradually take the person. I think that's what we're suffering from in Nigeria. You know, because yes, that's the truth. Because sometimes I listen to what people say.
Stress disorder.
Well, we are. That's why you would see something that's in the Constitution. I mean, we want to say we have a Constitution, but then we are doing things unconstitutionally. You know, then there's something wrong with us. Yeah, that's basically it. And the reason is because we have been so used to for lots of years. In fact, for me, independence, I mean, after independence, it was virtually just 3 years, 3 to 5 years of democratic rule. Then there was a war. And after the war, it was complete chaos, military era, coups and all that, you know. So the truth about that, even the people we are calling the elders today, back then, they were children. They were just teenagers or probably in their 20s. They grew up knowing that. Even the people we call elders today in Nigeria are not even, they don't even know what democratic rule is. Because the best they had was about just 5 years of Nigeria in pre-independent, post-independence, 5 years of democratic rule. So we don't even know what it is to provide good governance to ourselves. That is the truth. That's why we have the debacle in Osun State, where even an SAN who was advocating for the president then to hand over power to his deputy, to his vice. When it became his own situation, he didn't do the same thing.
But if you follow Akeredolu's case closely, you know that from the beginning of his
visits, it's closed.
He's been doing the right thing.
Precious. One thing this time around, you can't tell if we have in Nigeria is this.
Okay.
No, Precious. One mistake we have in Nigeria is that there are no consequences for our actions.
Unfortunately,
in every working society, there's consequence for actions. But Nigeria, what happens is that somebody does something, then maybe the person flips it later on after people have suffered. They will just forgive him, leave it, forget it. There's no consequence. Why would Akeredolu for over a year, why would the state run? I listened to Omole Shore on another station where in his interview, it got to the point whereby there was allegation of forgery of his signature. That was why the whole team became comatose. They had nowhere to hide and they handed over. And he was not even there to hand over.
But
he was not even there.
I was saying that from the beginning, from when he started having medical tourism, as it were, he's been handing over to his deputy whenever he wanted to travel. So he knows the right thing. He's been doing it. But for this period. So did you think, or wouldn't you think, and some people are saying that for this period, he may not be acting out of his own volition. It may be people acting on his behalf. You can't tell.
Exactly.
So you may not blame the governor himself because he's been doing the right thing before now. I don't know. But that's the insinuation.
You're probably right, Precious. Now, going to your governor, your former governor, Mr. Project.
So if you don't hit me below the belt now, we're not going to governor. Oh yeah, go ahead. Have Christmas on me. No. Go ahead.
No. I'm just curious. You know why I'm curious? This is the same man that did not even allow people in opposition to have hotels. He didn't allow oppositions to have meetings in Rivers State. He literally ran the state like an emperor. Nobody berated him. They left him. They said, okay, your time will come and we'll go. Now, you've handed over to another person. You can't even allow the person to administer the affairs of that's how it is the meaning of the democracy of Nigeria and Rivers State that there is a letter circulating that it is the resolution of the president. And it is not the meaning that, be Precious, how many times have you seen a document that Tinubu signed since he became president? How many have you seen a document that the president of Nigeria signed because investors are coming into Nigeria? Look at the document between him. Okay, he has been going to Germany. Have you seen any document that he said the president signed on behalf of Nigeria to bring, even if it is 1,000 jobs for Nigerians? They have not seen anyone. But you can see a document whereby it is being alleged that Tinubu's signature is there. I looked at the document. Tinubu's signature is there. Wike's signature is there. Amehule's signature is there. What these guys, the governors, and that is what we are parading on the. What kind of democracy is that? That where the president's signature, what we are seeing is one. Is Nigeria running a monarchy? Is Nigeria running a monarchy? The constitution is clear. Those guys, we should learn to face consequences for our actions. If you do something wrong, face the consequence. If you make a wrong decision, you face the consequence. But in Nigeria, what we want to have is we don't face consequences for our actions. People do the wrong thing, you will stay, then let us forgive him. And it is even the elders that cause it. Because you have, example, those governors that looted funds in their states. They looted funds and they were to be jailed. Are they not free now? They were granted pardon. It was people from their states that started lobbying. People from their states that started lobbying for them to come back. It was the same can Christian Association of Nigeria, the same Morik, the Muslim clergy that can't be lobbying the government for people that have committed atrocities. Left to me in Nigeria, the prison cells should be opened. Release everybody. If the people that impoverish the people go scot-free on the road, then everybody the prison should be open. We're running a lawless society. So why are we keeping people in prison? Why? The prison cell should be open. Let everybody be on the street. Because there's no need. Wike was in Rivers State for 8 years. How many jobs were created? He shut down places that were producing jobs, giving people work, shut it down. Now he's not there. He's still to be. What's the equation of the Rivers? Doesn't it belong to him? You know, and the truth about that, this is a desecration of our democracy. Unfortunately, we don't even know what democracy is because we have never seen it. Because we are just playing the book of what we know. Thank you so
much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Okay. Let me run through some more WhatsApp messages because it won't be fair to do injustice to those who sent their messages in. This says here, good evening, Sister Pretty. Please, I'm just joining the program. Can you just do a recap of the I will do that later on. Naya, thank you so much. And then he says, good evening, precious. For people to be encouraging the blessing of same-sex couple means for the Pope rather to be encouraging the blessing of same-sex couple means he's aware of what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. And I suggest for the cardinal to he's not aware. He's aware. Okay, he's not aware, and the cardinal should remove him before he splits Catholic Church, just like Anglican Church. Leo from Lagos sent that message. And then this here says, Ostino from Olodia Papa says, it seems we're moving in vicious circle since this present administration. For example, the Naira keep rotating between 900 and 1,200 to dollar, yet the CBN governor now blaming Emefiele. There is rumor of Naira scarcity. There is no rumor. I bought 10,000 Naira for 600 Naira today. It's not even a joke. Like, I'm so angry today. It's not a rumor. You say blame Emefiele. The Buhari left empty treasury, but the same APC who claim government is a continuum. Why are they lying to themselves? Tinubu and his famous teamship are taking Nigerians for granted. That's what you said. And then this here says, good evening, precious. The agreement circulating on social media is what was reached by both parties. I stand bold to say that they favor the camp of Wike and APC. Tinubu knows how important River State will be in 2027. Fubara is a man of peace. If he allowed those agreements to fly, I see him losing an automatic second term ticket because the commissioner, local government chairperson, and those House of Assembly members, whom all are loyal to Wike, will work against him. Musu Paul from Aguda Surulere sent in that. And then he says, good evening, presenter. What happened to Abuja yesterday, or what happened in Abuja yesterday, never happened before. We keep saying the truth is that the APC has their constitution while Nigeria has theirs. As for the Pope statement, humanity does not know what humanity is, or does not know how to be human again. We go from Lagos, okay? I don't understand what you mean by that though. And then this here says, Agege from Agege says, Nigeria should know this. Any nation that put her constitution aside but base her governance on individual and individuals' authorities can never, I repeat, can never grow, let alone develop. Imagine elected members toying with the citizens' mandate given to them. Today, elected member decamp to APC, tomorrow they decamp to PDP vis-a-vis. It's a shame. Besides, Fubara is weak. It shows exactly that Wike gave him the office he is occupying now. He wasn't actually elected by the Rivers people. Well, my advice, Fubara should be careful. The wolves love a sheep. Okay, the wolves' love for a sheep is for a meal, nothing more, right? Okay. And then this here says, good evening, precious. My crystal ball shows that this fight between father and son may take words to deceive the entire people of River State. The 2027 general election is a hidden intent. River State is sold to APC. God have mercy on Nigeria. Your Garden City, yeah? Garden City, right. All right, phone lines are still open. It's 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening, sir.
Father Precious, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
This is Steve calling from Ikeja.
Steve, you're welcome. Go ahead, please.
You see, what we fail to understand, the politician, you can never be champion forever. Whatever BK is doing, you should know that he can never be champion forever. That what goes around comes around. What is Chukwuka and Mechi today? Nobody's saying about him. The same thing that goes to Chukwuka and Mechi will happen to him. Concerning what the Pope will say, the problem we're having with Christians, instead of us to read our Bible, we say our pastor say, Pope will say, go to the Bible and read the Bible
for yourself,
and follow what the Bible say.
Okay.
Yes. Not be my Pope will say.
In fact, because of you, my step down conversation is going to be on Pastor Say right now. Don't worry.
If that is the problem we're having with Christians, my pastors, so okay, your pastor say, go to the Bible and look what Bible say, not what your pastor say. It left for us to decide what to want. If you say census is the best, I wish everybody good luck, those that want to follow it. But personally, I follow what is in scripture, not what my pastor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, Lagos from Masturbation, 29 minutes past the 8 p.m. mark. We'll be taking a break now. When we come back, so there is a video of a pastor, a very popular pastor, saying that masturbation is not a sin according to the Bible. So then why then do you all demonize masturbation? That's a step down conversation this evening, Lagos. All right, we'll be right back. This is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM, and it's the evening rush. It's your girl Precious. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
Yes, Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. So I think I have a few messages to run through then before I get straight to the step down conversation, right? Okay. Daya from Fubara says, good evening, Precious. With the situation of Nigeria now, it's glaring that the right people are not in power. How will there be peace without justice? It's just like someone appointing king that used money and influence to enter the throne, not considering the lineage of the son of the past king in such a village. There will never be peace. And there is we said the Lord, he said this is what, okay, all right, I appreciate you. And then Faulkner says, Precious, you want to unleash the dragon with your step down, Abi. You don't want to hear the outcome from Jerusalem. That is what I want to do. I want to deal with people of Jerusalem right now. Let the people of Jerusalem speak. Let's hear what they have to say. All right, Lagos. So let's listen. I'll take a good listen to Pastor Chris Oyakilome of Believers Love World, of the Love World, as he speaks on masturbation. Quoting him now, he says, there is no place in the Bible that suggests masturbation is a sin because it's a pleasure you derive for yourself. So how can something that gives you personal pleasure be a sin? He now says, you're not abusing yourself as some people say, because it is a pleasure that you are giving yourself. Let's take a listen to him say that himself.
That's actually the problem with a lot of people. There is no way in the Word of God that suggests that masturbation is a sin, because it's a pleasure that you derive for yourself. There are people who may masturbate and not be controlled by masturbation because it's a purely sensual feeling and it's your own body. And it's not the abuse of the body, because you actually, like I said, it's a sensuous pleasure that you're deriving.
All right, Lagos, did you hear that? It is a sensuous pleasure. It is something that you're doing to yourself. So why do we now all demonize it? I don't want to play the video of all, so many other men of God so many other men of God who have in different occasions, spoken against masturbation, that says it is a sin, it is this, it is this, it is that. Okay, so if truly there is no proper scriptural scripture that we can quote that actually attests to the fact that the Bible says that masturbation is a sin, then why do we classify it as a sin? Who made it a sin? Or is it then, or does it then mean that Pastor Chris probably is incorrect, that there may be some places in the Bible that does quote, or that did quote and did say that indeed masturbation is a sin? Lagos, that's a step down conversation. Phone lines are open. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. That is 0700 903 903 903 and 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening. Hello, are you there? Good evening. Hello.
Good evening. Are you hearing me?
Good evening. You're welcome. I can hear you.
Okay. I'm Manny from Fesakam.
Manny, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
I've been listening to your program. Thank you very much. Thank you for picking my call.
Thank you. Manny, we're on a step down conversation now. So, do you believe that masturbation is a sin, or it isn't to you?
The Bible, but I don't need to quote the Bible.
No, you will quote though, because the man of God is saying that there is no way it is written in the Bible that is a sin. So, if you want to tell us that the Bible says it is a sin, you will show us an example now, so all of us will read and learn. That's why we'll have these step down conversations.
The Bible made it clear that all forms of sexual desires, all forms, because we will not be as in mind that the Bible will list all the things for sexual desires before we know that masturbation is bad.
The Bible said, what about sexual desires? That all forms of sexual desires are?
That we have to free ourselves from all forms.
So including sleeping with your wife? Is sleeping with your wife not a sexual desire?
Yeah?
Is sleeping with your wife not a sexual desire? So you have to free yourself from it too?
From all kinds of as in sexual immorality, all forms of sexual immorality.
And that is the point we're saying. Is sleeping with your wife a sexual immorality?
No, it's not.
Okay, then why would sleeping with yourself be a sexual immorality? That's the question. Why? Who made it an immorality? That's the question.
Because in the beginning, Adam and he made them to be. And all intercourse is made to be only for husband and wife.
Okay.
So all the things that...
So are you probably insinuating that perhaps God noticed that Adam was probably masturbating, that's why he now created Eve?
Wait. Girlfriend, it is a bad thing for them to have sex. Let's call it it's a bad. The originator of marriage is God, and He is the one that created even same-sex marriage or same-sex sex. Bad thing. Adam and Eve. God, Jehovah, His name is Jehovah. He is the only one, the originator of marriage. He is the originator of sex. He created from the limb of Adam, and He told him, "This is your wife." And when Adam saw the woman, yes, I like this one. God, I like this one. So He is the originator, and He passed also.
But do you know you've not answered my question? No, nobody is saying God is not wise, and I can't say that God is not wise. But I'm asking, where did God state it that pleasuring yourself sexually is a sin?
Includes all forms.
And that is what I'm saying. If all forms does not include your wife, why should you include your own self? That's the question. But you're not answering me with a biblical backing.
Also, if still husband and wife, but without husband and wife.
Right. I appreciate you. Let's run to another caller very quickly. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you very much. All right. Hello. Good evening to you. All right. I really want us to be educated with this, right? Let's educate ourselves. Hello. Good evening to you.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Precious.
Sir?
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. You're welcome. Go ahead. Please remind us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Tony from Chicago.
Mr. Tony, you're welcome. Compliments.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, that's them. Please, I want to remind the viewers, everybody, that the end time is coming near. With this kind of preaching for a man of God means that end time is near. Precious, the atom of masturbating is totally wrong.
What makes it wrong?
Yes, it's a sin.
How is it a sin?
Just
Where
like
is it
the Bible-
stated in the Bible that it is a sin?
Okay. Bible made us to know that even as you are now, if I'm looking at you, thinking of how I will sleep with you, I already committed a sin.
That is because you are looking at me. But when you're masturbating, you're by yourself. I know they your face.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
There's no way you be masturbating without thinking of a female. If you're a man, there's no way that you cannot be masturbating and thinking of eating fufu. It's not possible. You must have somebody in mind before you masturbate. So that's what makes it a
so
sin.
because your thought is already there, that's what makes it a sin.
Yes, because
I like this aspect of the argument.
That makes it a sin because I cannot be thinking of my goods in the market and then I have the urge to masturbate. It doesn't work together.
So that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because if the Bible says that merely looking at someone with the thought of that means that you've committed that sin.
You cannot masturbate yourself without thinking of a man.
No, let's continue using you as examples, and don't use me now.
I can use you too as
example. Let's use you now. Let's continue. All right, go ahead, sir.
So that's what makes it to be. We are heading towards the end of time.
All right, thank you.
All this with what's coming up for the Pope too. I'm not go through that one very well, but I never understand what the Pope is saying.
The Pope said they should bless them. But then there should be no marriage, no official marriage ceremony held for them. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening. You can hear me?
Yes, very well, clearly. What's your name and where you calling?
Yes, my name is Ebuka once again from Isolo.
Ebuka, go ahead. Let's hear you.
This one tired about, but we'll try.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, in my own opinion, I know we are very emotional in Africa, and whatever we don't agree with, we automatically rate it as a sin. But the Bible objectively does not in any way discuss masturbation clearly as a sin. It did not outline it as a sin. That's my constitution will say 25% in every state, and so it did not put that and.
So you had to also infuse politics in this thing somewhere, Abi. Go ahead.
So it is not in any way identify it as a sin. Okay. I know that many Christians will be looking at some areas in the Bible, like the book of Genesis 38 verse 9 to 10, when Onan, who was the son-in-law of Judah, went to meet the wife of his brother who died. You know, according to Jewish law, that he wanted to get the woman pregnant to carry out the offspring, and instead of going the normal way, he brought it and poured it outside, and God was angry. So some Christians use that as a background to tag that masturbation is a sin.
Is it only masturbation? Withdrawal is also a sin. If that's the case, that means withdrawal is also a sin. So you should just go and be multiplying because God gives children. So you cannot have birth control. You'll be multiplying.
Yes, and you multiply beyond what you can control. The thing is just that, like I said, once we don't agree with something as Christians, we tag it as sin. I want someone to, even in the book of Corinthians 6 verse, 1 Corinthians 6 verse 18, he said, flee from sexual immorality. All other sins in a person commit outside the body. But it did not state
within your body.
You get it now.
Okay.
Like my other brother that called said, if you look at a woman lustfully, you have committed sin. I agree.
Good.
That is sexual immorality. The book of 2 Timothy 2 verse 22 also said, flee from evil desires of youth and pursue righteousness. It did not outline flee from masturbation.
Ebuka, I'm so glad you're quoting the Bible. Thank you so much.
I can go further and give you on and on and on and on again. Understand? And the book of Romans 13 verse 14 also said, rather clothe yourself with the Lord Jesus Christ and do not think about how to gratify sexual desires of the flesh. It did not say how to gratify masturbation, because we understand that when you have sex outside marriage, yes, in religion, Christianity is condemned, but in outside world is another thing altogether. So why do Christians now want to drag? The man of God was just being objective. We have to attack this religion without personal emotions, without sentiments. He was right.
Oh wow! Thank you.
Look at some hospitals.
So, but wait, what? Okay, go ahead. Let me let you land.
Look at some hospitals where they do donation. How do you think they bring out the semen?
Yeah, where you have sperm donors and all that. Yes. In fact, even when you want to go for IVF, even as a couple, when you want to go for IVF.
Oh, thank you. How do they extract the man's fluids in order to fertilize the woman? These are the processes.
So does that not make it a sin at that point?
What?
Does that not make it a sin at that point? Does it make it a sin at that point?
It does not make it a sin. It does not.
Mr. Tony from Chicago, I want you to follow Ebuka up with a superior argument. But I also now following what
the Bible also made it clear. God said, I give you the power to choose. So you can choose to do it and not to do it.
Okay, so following what Tony said, he did say that because the Bible has told you that even if you as much as look at a woman lustfully, you've committed a sin. And according to him, I mean, you men cannot masturbate successfully without thinking of a woman. Does that not mean that it's a sin already?
Definitely, even when you are with your wife or whatever you are doing, definitely as she's there with you, you will definitely have a mental picture of her.
Okay. Because I wanted to ask the question that does it mean that a married man whose wife is not present at the meantime can masturbate thinking of his wife and that won't be classified as a sin?
I wonder, it's not a sin. You are thinking about someone you're legally married to. You're thinking about the beautiful moments you people had. So I'm trying to balance how they says it's a sin. And the same book of Matthew 5:27, he said, you have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. It did not say you shall not commit masturbation. The Bible is not an author of confusion now.
Thank you so much, Ebuka. Thank you. Let me run to other calls now. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Right. Thank you. All right. Okay, so we are learning so much from this. UC from Ijegun says, honestly, Bible doesn't contain everything. This is why we are created with conscience. Our conscience directs us. Masturbation is not a good thing. That's what he says. And then this here says, oh dear. I'm not able to access this message very quickly. Okay. So this here says, hello precious, this your question about masturbation is too sensitive. I know you are not married yet. You can, you say you can masturbate yourself as you are talking, as you are. Are you kidding me? It's amazing how you guys just take a decision about someone's life that you don't know anything about. That's interesting. And then he says, he says, the Bible does not explicitly address masturbation, and there is no specific verse that directly condemns it. Some people interpret certain passages, such as those discussing sexual immorality, to simplify or to imply a broader condemnation, but interpretations vary. That's what he's saying. And then he says, among different religions and traditions. Oh, he said it's copied. I appreciate you. And then he says, good evening, precious. Pastor Chris said so some years back. If masturbation is not a sin, why is it that after the act, the person will feel guilty? How many people do feel guilty? Does everyone come to tell you that they feel guilty? I mean, have you searched the conscience of everyone who's involved in it? And he says, why are the pastors not supporting it when he himself is a divorcee? What is wrong with being a divorcee? These are the kind of things that push people, Okay. Precious, I believe masturbation is a sin. It is fine that you believe what you believe. And we are totally here for an honest and open conversation, right? Thank you. I appreciate you. Hello, good evening to you. But I don't think it's fair for us to judge someone's marital status, really. And same way we'll not blame somebody that dies in marriage. That why did you stay there till you died? Why didn't you leave? He lives tomorrow now. People will say, oh, he's a divorcee. Can they please you guys in Nigeria? Hello, good evening. Evening, can you hear me? Are you there?
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Welcome. Go ahead, please.
Yes, the issue of masturbation, which the man of God talked about, it's a sin. Yes. Yeah, when you go to the book of Genesis, in the story of Tamar, Genesis to be precise, that is Genesis chapter 38, verse 6, where it talks of Tamar, that the brother's husband should have relationship with him, to have offspring for his brother. And because the brothers refused and split, allow his semen to split on the ground, God killed him for doing that. So that shows clearly that masturbation, wasting of the semen, is a sin.
Okay, so hang in there. Sorry. Let's take it one step at a time, brother. Let's take it one step at a time. If that singular act or that section of the Bible makes you believe that masturbation is a sin, does that passage of the Bible also make you believe that you should keep impregnating your wife and not have birth control? Because that means you cannot have birth control. That means birth control is also a sin. Because if you're doing withdrawal with your wife, it is a sin. You're wasting it. That's what it means, right? So that means you should keep having children whether or not you have money to take care of them, because you cannot commit sin. Oh, you agree?
Yeah, but the fact remains that even the use of condom, any means where the use of the semen is wasted, which is not directly for the purpose which God made it for, is a sin.
So even the use of condom is a sin?
No. What I'm saying is that masturbation is a sin.
Okay.
Yes, because
but you mentioned something about the use of condom, so that means the use of condom is also a sin because you're wasting it.
Sin, because you are wasting the semen which was meant originally to produce for procreation. So as long as that semen is wasted and the motive of production is not achieved.
So even when you use the condom as a birth control mechanism with your wife, you're committing a sin.
It's not allowed biblically.
Oh wow.
Not allowed. It's not allowed. It's a sin because the man who attempted, who refused to have a child for his late brother based on the Bible tradition back then, as he wasted the semen, the book of Genesis 38, verse 6, if you read it down there, it makes it very clear that God killed him. He was killed by God because he wasted his farm, which was meant for him to achieve the purpose God wanted him to achieve. So what Trump is saying, to me, he has shot himself on the leg. I respect it a lot, but what he said.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're not here to talk about the man of God, by the way. We're just here to put a perspective to this conversation, and I mean we can all learn from it, right? And this message here says anybody that said masturbation is not a sin should tell his or her son to go and masturbate and encourage them to masturbate. Victor from Mafuluku sent in that message. Okay, let's see if we can take a few more calls. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Hey, Mr. Tony, are you back? Mr. Tony, I was joking when I say you should come with a superior argument. It was a joke. Oh yeah, don't worry. Hello, Mr. Tony, can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? Hello? All right. I don't know if I still have you on the line. Hello, are you there, Mr. Tony? All right, perhaps you try to call us back. Okay, Mr. Tony. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's take a few more messages. And then this is Auntie Precious, very good evening to you. Please, I want to ask, where is it written in the Bible that if someone wants to cross the highway, that he should watch carefully before crossing? Everything mustn't be literally written in the Bible. I totally agree that masturbation is a disastrous sin. Thank you for all your good works. Kesta from Kato sent in that message. I like this perspective. Good evening, Precious. Even family planning is a sin. God help us. Destiny from Mushi. Okay, here they go. Hi, Precious. Most people who say masturbation is a sin do worse sexual behaviors behind locked doors. Dr. Chris. Doctor, you don't carry como. And then this says, hi, Precious. Okay, but let me just take this call very quickly. Hello, good evening to you. No. Please help me turn on the volume of a radio set. We don't have all the time. Good evening. Unfortunately, we can't do this. We don't have all that time, please. You have to understand that we don't have all the time. All right. So this here says, this here says, oh dear, this message is giving me a bit of a tough time to open. Okay. All right. Let's attend to this call. Hello. Good evening to you. Yes. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Yes, Moses from Lassa Maja.
Moses, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Can you define masturbation?
Oga, just go straight to the point here, please.
No, if you are talking about
we actually don't have that time. I'm running out of time. Do you understand? I mean, you heard, we're talking about it from the perspective of what the man of God said.
Let go, man, stop that nonsense.
Anyway, all right, okay, but you really don't have to be rude, right? Okay, so this says, Precious, masturbation is a sin because they that will worship God must worship Him in spirit and truth, and true worshippers must always ask the Holy Spirit who teaches all truth. That's what you say. All right. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Precious.
Good evening, John Legend. You're welcome. Please be quick with it because our time is up.
So what I want to say in this, if the masturbation is a sin, which means family planning is also a sin.
That's what somebody already affirmed.
And on all this condom we use is a sin.
He already affirmed that
quote in the Bible exactly where it is written that masturbation is a sin. I want to get it right where it is written in the Bible, the quotation, not by parables, by exactly how it was written in the Bible.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, Lagos, that's the size of our package this evening. Thank you so much to everyone who's joining in this conversation. It's been a very interesting conversation, right? Sometimes it's good that we educate ourselves and talk about this. I appreciate everyone who's been a part of the show. My name is Precious Inyi. And hey, my birthday is on the 1st of January. First, New Year girl, right? The only good thing I want you to do for me is to please, one, help me give good things to anyone around you that you know that cannot afford food. Things are really hard. Times are really hard. People are going through a lot in Nigeria currently. If you can help me put food in the mouth of one person on that New Year day, I'll be very happy. But then if you have extra to give out, I'll be going for, more like a food drive to give out to, I don't want to say the poor of the poorest, but those people whom I know that, or whom we've identified that really can eat. We're targeting between 100 and 150 people, right? So we'll be giving stuffs to them. Not just food items, including clothing items. I'm also looking at putting back some kids back to school, those that left school because their families can no longer afford school fees. So if you can support this in any way, kindly reach out to me. I'll be really glad. If you have foodstuffs and stuff to give physically, you can bring it to Golden Tulips Hotel, drop it with the security, tell them it's so precious, they will keep it for me. I'd really, really appreciate it. This is what will make my entire 2024. Thank you so much for helping me put a smile on someone's face. My social media handles at Precious Inyi Official on Instagram. Precious Inyi. Inyi spelled ENYI on Instagram. Yeah, Precious Inyi Official on Instagram. Facebook is at Precious Inyi. Precious ENYI, and that is all. Twitter is at Precious_Inyi. I'll see you tomorrow. God willing. Have yourself an amazing evening. Good night.
For the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all